Welcome to the Injection Connection, in-depth discussions with thought leaders and professionals in the polyurethane infrastructure repair industry.
From your point of view, when it comes to grouting, what are some of the common mistakes or problems you see that people just deal with repeatedly?
Well, I mean, when it comes to, like, in my world, in the coatings world, one of our biggest challenges is water, right? Keeping it where you want it or not keeping it, not letting it get in where you don't want it. And that water molecule creates a lot of damage, and concrete, which is predominantly the work that we do in the infrastructure world, like 85% of water and wastewater structures are concrete, and concrete has very poor elongation properties, doesn't stretch very well, but it does move a lot because of settlement and this and that, and inflection when you're loading tanks, unloading. So you get cracks, and you have to stop. And if we don't address the water coming in or whatnot, it creates even bigger issues. So grout plays a huge role in doing that. And I mean, I think one of the challenges that I see is people don't understand that you just can't fill it with some cement, and because if it cracks again, it's going to leak again. You just can't fill it with an epoxy injection, because that's rigid and it's not, so there's just the misconception of how to deal with it is prevalent, and it's something that we try to explain a lot. And just mistakes are made where we're just going to put hydraulic cement in and fix it that way, or we're going to do this, or the coating should handle it, and we shouldn't have to do this extra work. And so I just see the mistakes in the materials they select to do the repairs, and not understanding necessarily that it has to be treated, or it's going to, you're just spending thousands and thousands of dollars to rehab this, and you're going to skip that part that's going to wreak havoc on your system, right? So those are the common mistakes. It's a lack of understanding, really, when you get to the bottom of it, of how it all works together.
Yeah, and I guess what always I find interesting about that, because I mean, neither one of us are engineers that have gone and gotten those type of degrees and stuff like that. So we're not always the smartest person in the room. Typically, I'm nowhere even close to that.
But I may not be the smartest person in this room right here.
There you go. I'll give you that one. So, how's that? I'll take that. Thank you. Really, what you find, it's not that this industry, it's not that it's rocket science or hard to figure out. It's that it's non-intuitive, and most of the time, it's people just overlook it. They don't even understand that it's something. So again, it's not a fear thing of, oh, you're just never going to figure this out and be able to launch a rocket to Mars. It comes down to people just make common mistakes with it. Like you mentioned with the epoxy, there's no elongation or very little elongation for concrete at all. And you'll have people, they waterproof epoxies all the time, and then they get a mirror crack right by it, and they're like, whoa, didn't we just fix this last year? And you're like, there it is.